Hello, everyone. I'm here with Beautiful Savor's new principal, Mr. Peter Gumm. Hello, Mr. Gumm. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Thanks for taking some time to introduce yourself to the people a little bit here. Anything you want us to know before we get to some questions here? Anything right off the bat?
Not exactly. I'm just a little surprised there wasn't any kind of intro music. You know, Jimmy Fallon would have something ready to go. You're still learning. It's okay.
How do you know I'm not going to edit some music in later? That seems like kind of presumptuous, but I'm going to force my hand here now, I guess. All right, I'm no Jimmy Fallon, but we'll start with some questions here. All right, it's just some questions about your life in general. Where did you grow up, and what's a fun memory you have of that place?
Well, kind of all over the Midwest. So my dad is a pastor, and when I was young, we were in West Allis, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Milwaukee. So I was there until I think fourth grade when we moved down to Rockford, Illinois. And so I guess Rockford is kind of my home base, but really I was only there going to school for 4 years, and then I was off at Luther Prep in Watertown, Wisconsin. Um, and then even during my college years, I didn't really come back as much because I was staying with some friends. We had a painting business, and so a bunch of different spots really. But I guess Rockford, Illinois is probably my home base.
Yeah, any particular fun memories from Rockford that stand out to you?
My brother and I had a 6-level tree house. It was pretty sweet.
Yes, okay.
I don't think it's standing anymore. My dad made us take it down because it was really ugly. It was a good time.
Let's see. Why did you choose to become a Lutheran school principal?
I guess I didn't. When I graduated from college, my wife Angie and I were planning on getting married at the time, and so they kind of gave you a choice to say which one of you would take a call, and then the other person would follow, and hopefully there would be a position available. And so the congregation at Cross of Glory Lutheran in Peoria, Arizona, they really needed a preschool director. So I was the one who got the call to serve as the principal and start a school down there because they only had preschool and they wanted to continue to kindergarten and keep going. I think it was really more like they needed Angie and they were hoping to get me to tag along. So that's how that all worked out. I guess I didn't really ever envision myself wanting to be a principal, but I think my time down there really allowed me to see the benefit of doing so and some gifts that God's given to me to serve in that way. And so here I am. Got a chance to do that some time in the high school, and now back to being the principal.
All right, the next question is related to that. What did you learn at your first 2 calls that still kind of sticks with you today?
Do I only get one thing?
It's as many as you want. This is your time to shine, Mr.
Gumm. I guess probably one of the biggest things is that God will continue to work wonderful things despite you. I've got plenty of things that I look at as not really my strengths, and yet God has used me at my service in Arizona and used me in my service here in the Milwaukee area now. I think another big thing is just the relational aspect of ministry. I view as something that's just incredibly important, and again, not one that I'm necessarily that good at or have a huge strength, but I see it as something I want to continue to work towards because I see the benefits of it in a lot of different ways. And I don't know, there are other things too, but those I think kind of top the list.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The people here have been phenomenal to me and to Carrie, and I think you'll really enjoy getting to know them. It's just a great church family, really solid school family. So yeah, glad to hear that that's a big part of your ministry. What do you like most about being a teacher?
Probably when you've got a kid that just is struggling with something and the light bulb goes on. Maybe even more so when he's been struggling or she's been struggling for a while with something, and that just if you present it in a certain way, they go, oh, now I get it. I think that's a really cool thing to see. But the other thing too, just in general, every day is a different day. Even though you might have the same group of kids or the same subjects, the content that you're presenting, how kids are going to react to that, is always going to be different. And in our settings that we get to share God's word alongside of that is fantastic.
Every day is a challenge in a good way, and nothing's ever boring, it sounds like. Okay, here's one that I think people are really going to be interested in your answer. Not that they're not interested in all your answers, but I think this is going to be a special one. What are you wondering about Cincinnati?
I really haven't spent very much time in Cincinnati besides last summer when we came down and did the art museum. So as far as the area, and that's still a little bit of ways away. So I'm not sure if that's, if the area is as hilly and stuff as that. So just in general, how that compares to life in Wisconsin. You guys don't get snow, right?
A little, not as much. No, that's
Because I heard
not
that
nearly as much.
when I accepted the call, they said no, we don't get any snow in Cincinnati. So,
It's too late to do anything about it now. No, there's really that was a pleasant surprise. I grew up in Wisconsin. I think most people at church knew that. But I can't stand snow. I'm done with snow. So yeah, maybe 3 or 4 times it snowed this year. I could be way wrong on that, but it's very light snow. But still, people are terrible at driving in snow here, so you have to be very careful when it does snow. I'm sorry to insult everyone that lives here, but it's the truth.
I will attempt to bring my level of driving down when I come to
yeah. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Oh, people are going to try to make you like, have you heard of Skyline Chili at all? Do you know about that?
Just a college friend that was from the Cincinnati area. I think we went, though. I did come back in college for a wedding, and I think we went to Skyline, if I remember right. And should I say if I liked it or not?
I am very open about Skyline is a trick that everyone in Cincinnati tries to pull on you when they move there. Everybody's like, yeah, it's really good. You should try it. And you can see them like looking at the corner of everybody else like, yeah, it's really good, isn't it? It's not good.
I remember it not being that great.
You just endured yourself.
The big thing very similar to that in Arizona and California was In-N-Out Burger. And In-N-Out Burger really was that good.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll come here and have a different experience than I did. I'm not. I like the salads at Skyline. I don't like the chili. So
I hear a lot of people go to Skyline for the salad.
Okay, let's move on to the next question before I get myself in more trouble. Who was the most influential teacher you had in school?
I think I've got 2 that come to mind. One was early on in 3rd grade. Patty Jackson was my 3rd grade teacher in West Dallas. And maybe one of the reasons she was so influential is just because of, it goes back to that relational thing that I was talking about. I think she became very good family friends. So I saw her a lot more often than just in the classroom. And then another one was one of my history teachers in high school, Professor Kieselhorst, which is kind of weird because I was never really a history guy, but I really enjoyed his class. And again, I got to see him a little bit more because he was one of my basketball coaches too. So I think those 2 probably stand out as most influential teachers.
That's great. What do you and your family like to do for fun?
Right now, just sit in front of a screen all day, every day. Been a lot of screen time, man. I don't know about this quarantine thing. It's got to end.
Yeah, I believe it.
When we can, we like to get out, go hiking. My kids are constantly on their bikes and scooters. Family vacations in the summer usually involve camping. We actually bought my parents' old pop-up camper. It's like 25 years old or something. It works. If it just me and Angie, we enjoy traveling when we get the opportunity to do so.
Cool. Yeah, there's some nice parks around here. Really nice parks in Greater Cincinnati. And then Hocking Hills is a really nice state park about an hour and a half away from here. So yeah, lots of good stuff to do there. What's your favorite sport/team?
So my favorite sport has always been basketball. I love playing basketball, although I would say I don't watch very much basketball anymore. So that is my favorite sport. My favorite team, though, and the sport that I watch more often is football. Um, the Green Bay Packers, obviously. I mean,
I don't know if you can
are there other teams out there that people cheer for?
kind of. Do you see that? My Packer clock
Love
there.
that is
Yeah.
love.
I don't know. People like the Bengals here, kind of, but the Bengals have had a rough few seasons. People here are pretty intense about the Reds, but the Reds have been down too. So, but Red Stadium is really, really nice. So, some pretty loyal fans down here, I'll say. But lots of Packer fans too. A lot of people here like the Packers, so you'll fit in.
As well, they should.
A couple left here. What's your favorite non-Bible book?
I'm just in the process of finishing up my master's degree, so I should probably have like some high, lofty educational book. Um, I don't know if I've ever found a book other than when I read in, I think, sixth grade, The Giver.
Yes, The Giver.
That's always been one of my all-time favorites. And then they came out with a movie not too long ago. Well, now it's a little ways ago, but that was kind of nice too. The book was better, but
Yeah, so you saw the movie, you liked it?
it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, The Giver is also my favorite grade school book, and I was scared to see the movie. I thought there's no way it will do it justice, so I still haven't seen it. But
Go
on
ahead.
your recommendation, I'll watch it. What's your favorite Bible book?
That's a tough question, but I think I'd go with Romans.
Hmm.
I like the book of Romans. I think I like how, some of the passages, especially there's a lot of well-known passages that stand out, but the old Adam, or the comparison of the old Adam, the original Adam and the new Adam that came and saved us. And I don't know, there's a lot of good doctrine in there.
Yeah, it's a heady book with lots of practical applications. That's a good one.
Are you
All right,
okay with that?
Oh, go ahead.
Would you agree with that? Are you okay with me enjoying Romans? Is that the wrong answer?
After some consideration, I think it's okay. Yeah, Romans is a good book.
Good.
All right, last question. What food could you eat for every meal the rest of your life, if you had to?
It would be enchiladas for sure.
Enchiladas, okay. Do you have a specific place you like to go for enchiladas?
No.
Doesn't matter.
Give me the enchiladas, man.
There's a place right by church.
Lasagna would be a close second, though, too.
Lasagna is a close second. Yeah, there's a place right by church. I'm blanking on the name. People watching this video are gonna be yelling at their screens. Oh, Cancun. It's right by church. It's good. They have good enchiladas there.
Cancun's in Mexico. You're way off, but okay.
Thanks. I humbly accept the correction. So
you know what's sad about me listing enchiladas and lasagna as my
what's sad, Mr. Gumm?
Because I have kids that are picky eaters. So you know how often we have enchiladas or lasagna in my house?
How often?
Never. We never have my favorite foods.
This is a really sad way to
my
end
children.
This is a sad way to end the interview. I never get my favorite food. I promise you, when you guys get down here, we'll get enchiladas. Okay, I promise.
I will hold you to that.
Well, thanks for taking some time to do this interview and give people a picture of you. We're very excited for you to get down here. We're praying for you as you look for a place to live and thinking about the traveling down here. So God's blessings to you and the rest of the family.
Appreciate it. We are very excited to be coming down there too. Very much looking forward to it, and lots to do between now and then, but looking forward to it. So thank you.
Thank you. You take care.
You too.
Bye.